Hi, this is Paul Palmer. Today I want to talk about teams, growing a team, rather than just the normal team management that I often talk about. So, if you've got a small team, maybe you're just starting out, maybe you're a consultancy, maybe you're manufacturing, but your team's relatively small for the type of activity that you're doing. How do you decide when it's time to grow, when it's time to add more, when it's time for another person to join the team and enhance your performance rather than detract from it? Now, I've worked with a number of clients on this particular aspect of the business. And if you look at the methodology, if you look at the means that people go through, it's often, oh, well, we've got to do this extra work, so we need another team member. But sometimes you need to consider the opportunity that you have when you are growing a team or when you're expanding to restructure the way that things are done to enhance performance. Maybe you can get a new skill set in. Maybe you can organize things in a different way that allow you to make things much better. Now, this review can sometimes, I wouldn't say backfire, but change the way you view things. I've had it where people have been saying, well, I need a new team member because I've got all this work to do. I need to hire somebody else. But then when we've done the full review with them, they've actually decided they don't need the people that they've got. They can actually lose one rather than gaining an extra by implementing improvements in efficiency. This really comes from what I was talking about yesterday, mapping out your business process and implementing a quality management system that works for the business, not against the business. Now, of course, in doing that, you may improve efficiency, but you may also identify opportunities for further improving efficiency. For example, introducing automation. I really recommend automation whenever you can. I suppose I started looking at automation, I don't know, 30 years ago in a manufacturing site. Yeah, I would say so. About 30 years ago, I started getting involved in understanding and supporting automation because there's a lot of things you can do manually. You can do so much more with an automated system. And then, of course, you can consider the semi automated. So it may be that you need one person to run a specific machine. It's quite rare. If you're actually doing the manufacturing now and you're doing it all manually, then the chances are you've got one, two, three people, probably a few people on a line. Let's assume you've got three people running a line. And then you can put in automation, you put a machine on it, and one person, one of those people, does the loading of the raw materials and they do the packing at the other end. So you've gone from three people to one person. You maybe invested, though, in the machine, you might have invested 2, 3 years worth of their salary. But usually these machines are going to last a lot longer, those 2 or 3 years. But on top of that, what are those other two team members going to be able to do? Are they going to be able to run another two machines? So you actually end up with three lines of output instead of one. Or maybe you can actually enhance the speed and efficiency of this machine as well. And you've gone from three people down to two, and you've doubled your output. Now, isn't that something worth considering? So, when you are looking at your team management, when you are going to the outside agencies or contractors to hire somebody new, think first. Make sure that you're doing the job in the best way you can. Map it out because it might have changed since last time you looked. Maybe your not necessarily your performance, but maybe the business dynamics. Maybe there's external factors that mean rather than adding a new person, you add a new process. Or maybe you take something away that they've been doing. Maybe there's some administrative tasks that you no longer need. Maybe you can qualify, validate the data automatically, and then nobody else needs to check it. So instead of a second check, you've got a system that actually allows the data only to be acceptable or highlights when there's a problem. I remember auditing a site some time ago, and they had it down to a T. They could actually say at the end of the process, without anybody doing any additional checks, the QP could go along and say, yep, that's all right, that's all right, that's all right. Now, that's an unusual case. It was medicinal gases. And medicinal gases, well, you test, you measure all the parameters. Nobody's doing anything at the end. Okay, yeah, there is some analysis. But basically, what I'm saying is they had that so efficient. The QP on their own could go in and look and see all the summarized data, all the deviations, all any non-conformances, any issues with the manufacturer filling, I suppose. And you could release it there and then. None of this spend 3 days reviewing batch records, get the extra information out, go through the deviations, delay it for a week because you've got somebody on holiday. All the data was there. So if you're thinking about building your team, I do recommend look to automation. See if you can improve efficiency, improve output. Maybe the team members you've got, instead of adding one, maybe you can add 10% to their salary. They're going to be much happier and they're going to work closer with you, getting the efficiency out. Something to think about. Okay, that's it for me for today. Hope you're enjoying yourselves today. It's Paul Palmer. Talk to you soon.